Eyyo! Eyyo! Eyyo. It's me, Manaiman. And I've got a new series planned out for you. Specifically you. I know you've been asking for it. It's in particular you. Weekly Jump review. Weekly. Hence, I want to... so I plan to make this a weekly thing. Hopefully it works out well. It takes a long time to read through the chapters and write about them. So I'm going to try to do this weekly. And if I don't do it, or if an episode comes out on like Monday, forgive me. I woke up late or something like that. Anyways, so just so y'all know, and you don't ask me or type in the comments, you didn't cover this series or you didn't cover this series. I don't cover 5 series. I don't read 5 series in Jump. Those being Black Clover, Ayakashi Triangle, Miyaraboko, Mission Yozakura Family Mission, or Mission Yozu. Oh my god, that again. Mission Yozakura Family. And, oh my god, what's the other one? Kudasai! Undead Unlock! But let me give you my thoughts on those before we start. Black Clover, I dropped because I just simply was not enjoying it. I read like chapter 195 or 194 something and I thought, man, I hate this. Like, I used to love Black Clover. I used to be like the biggest Black Clover fan out of my friends, and now I just cannot do it, bro. It's so like, oh my god. I don't even remember what it was about that chapter that just broke me, absolutely destroyed me, so I just couldn't read another one. And in all honesty, I'll probably start reading it again next year. So like by next year, I'll have forgotten about why I don't like it, and I'll just start reading it again. Because that's what happened last year around this time. I was like, oh man, I'm not digging it, I won't read it anymore. And I picked it up again and I did not like it, and so can't wait for the cycle to continue next year. Miyaraboko I didn't hate it. I liked it, but it was just kind of like, I don't know, it just didn't feel like anything was happening, so I didn't really want to continue it. I might pick it up later, or if someone in the comments convinces me, then I might pick it up, but otherwise I'm probably not going to. I got Kashi Triangle, I read like the first 3 chapters, or first 2 chapters, and just because it's not in like the Weekly Jump app, which is what I use, and it's on the web or it's on the Manga Plus app, I just don't read it. I forget about it, and so I don't read it, and it's already been like, what, 42 weeks or something like that? And so I'm like, it's not like, oh, it's too far. I caught up with One Piece, come on. So it's not too far, it's just like, I heard it's a lot of fan service, and that's not really my thing, so maybe if you're a fairy tale fan, you'll like it. Mission Yozakura Family. I just haven't read it. That's really all there is to it. I haven't read it. It's not something that I'm like, yo! I don't know anything about it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't have anything against it or for it. I just haven't read it. Undead Unluck, I tried to read, and man, I was just not doing it. I'm at chapter 10 maybe? I'm not sure actually. But I'm like, I'm not very far in the series, but I was reading it along Hi-Fi Cluster, and Hi-Fi Cluster is a cancelled series from the Jump Starts, and here in America at least. And Hi-Fi Cluster has so much exposition, so much stuff going on, and it just felt the exact same, and I was like, bro. I just couldn't get into it. I hear it gets better after the second arc, or the first arc or whatever, after like chapter 15 or something. I honestly don't know, but I've heard that the first arc is a really big like slog and everything, so I might like pick it up as like a manga a day or chapter a day thing, like I might do with Black Clover next year, or I just read like 1 chapter a day and try to get through it until it gets good, or if it doesn't, whoops, I just spent 63 chapters worth of time to get caught up to series I don't like. With that, let's get started with the review of Weekly Shonen Jump issue 24, 2021. So I'd like to preface this list by first saying that the order I review these are in the order that I read them. So it'll go like One Piece, MHA, Dr. Stone, Jujutsu Kaisen, Ame no Furu, so on and so forth. I'll probably put the list here or something. But yeah, I'll put timestamps in the thing so you can like skip to a part or that you're interested in. That I'm like, oh yeah, how would that new MHA chapter go? Or if you're like, oh no, I'm not caught up with One Piece. Let me skip to this part. Because I would hate to do that to y'all. So I'll put that. I'll definitely do that. And if I don't, whoops, Mabi. One Piece chapter 10. No, not 1013. It is 1013 technically. It's 1013. But I think I can't even say this for this particular chapter. It's literally every chapter I read of One Piece, it feels like I've read like 35 pages rather than the 17 or 15 that Oda writes or leaves us with. And I'm not hating on Oda. I understand that it's like a lot to draw and everything. I don't care. But it's just there's so much going on that it's like I never feel like, oh man, there should have been more pages or something. It's like, bro, what? That was only 15? It felt like 35, 36, felt like 50, felt like a new chapter, man, it was it was a crazy chapter this time around where you had like Len, who's she? Big Mom, I got it. Where you got like Big Mom talking about protecting the girl. Sorry, I forgot the girl. And then Nami being like, yo, I got, that one girl with the mask. Again, I forgot her name, I'm sorry. The dinosaur girl with the mask here. Her being destroyed by Nami. And then tag teamed with Big Bomb with the combo of her clouds with... For some reason, I don't know. I didn't know that she could make a mecha with clouds. I didn't know that was a thing. That's interesting. I'll have to remember that. It was just like weird how she made a mecha with the clouds that they combined and then shot the dinosaur girl with the laser. But in all honesty, I'm like 90% sure that Oda didn't kill her off just yet. How he's like, Oda. In the Dressrosa thing, he almost brought back people, so I'm sure he'll do it again. I'm sure she's just incapacitated with a massive hole in her chest somehow. I don't know how, but it's Oda. Come on, man. And so that'll be probably what happens. She comes back, and then they have to fight her again. I don't know how again, but I'm like 90% certain of it. What else happened in this chapter? Oh yeah. The ending with like Luffy falling off. Like, bro, what? Is Luffy gonna take the L? He can't. It's Luffy. He's gonna be a king of the pirates. Kaisaku Oni, Ori wa naru. Like, he can't lose. So what I think is gonna happen, right? It's probably Gear 5, something like that, or he does, or something like Kaido kills Jinbei, and then he goes like, like Naruto level, right? Where he like just lost it, or like Ichigo, where they just lose it and get this new power kind of thing, and then they're like, and fight. And then it's just like, what? Luffy's got this new power we didn't even know about. What? But another thing I'd like to bring up with the Kaido fight, it's pretty different than the other fights, right? Like in Dressrosa when it was Doflamingo versus Luffy, what would happen is like it would be Doflamingo versus Luffy. Luffy gets the punch on him. We go to Zoro versus Pika, right? And then it'd be like 10 minutes after we're back to Luffy versus Doflamingo. But in the Kaido fight, it's like, we see Luffy versus Kaido. A few hits exchange, or, Luffy gets destroyed like that. And then we like cut down to like Nami versus Big Mom, or you know, one of the other fights, like Zoro being carried by Snanji. I said it correctly on purpose. Got him. Something like that, and it's like, it's so weird how we're not seeing Luffy fight. We're just like cutting back to him like losing or getting hit or something. It's like, this is so weird for a One Piece fight, because it's usually how Oda does it, at least. It's like he teases the big fight, right? Teases the big fight, has these little fights happen, and then we'll cut from Zoro and Sanji, Nami fighting, and then we'll, as their fights, and then we go to the One Piece fight, which, well, not the One Piece fight, but the main fight of the arc. That being Kaido versus Luffy. Luffy versus, you know, whoever, Caesar, you know, Big Mom, Doflamingo, one of those. It's just so different, you know. I mean, I don't have an issue with it. It's so weird. I'm not used to it, I guess. I do wish we saw more fights, but I wonder what happens to Luffy, because he's just kind of out cold, like, you know? And I'm like, oh, I wonder what'll happen if he's like, kind of fall in the ocean and just die, or like, who's gonna save him, if anyone, you know? Who knows? Okay. MHA. So, I gotta tell you, I love MHA, or I used to at least, not anymore, not that much anymore. MHA, when it was the villain arc with, you know, Shigaraki, and then this villain arc where, like, you know, Hawks kills twice, or the arc where it's like Shigaraki and Toya destroy the society by just talking about their experiences, kind of thing, like, amazing, like, absolutely so good. And then this arc, and I know everyone's like, bro, this arc's so good. I don't think so. With this arc, it's like, what can I even say about this arc? I like the new villain. She's cool. What's her name? Lady Nagat! Oh, that's her name, Lady Nagat. She's really cool. She's just a female Golgo. I mean, Golgo's really cool, but I mean, she can make her right arm a sniper rifle. And then she plucks her hair, makes it the bullet, and then she can control both. Like, how cool is that? I liked in this chapter how we got to see Deku being a nerd again. How he sees the number 25 hero sniper senpai, as he calls him. Just kind of talk about Lady Nagat and how she is. And how Deku is like remembering that, and he's like, oh yeah, this is why I won't lose, because I remember this. And I'm like, yeah, he's back to normal. He's Deku. But let me talk about the part about this arc that I don't really like. With this arc, what I don't like is how it's like, how do I even describe this? Oh yeah. There wasn't a point to the time skip. Let me explain. The time skip, I don't have an issue with there being a time skip if it's good. Look at the One Piece time skip. Look at the Bleach time skip. They make sense. There is a reason why there's a time skip for Bleach. Ichigo lost his powers. Bada bing, bada boom. He had to get him back full bring. Boom, boom, boom. Reason for the arc established and understood make sense. One Piece lost to Kuma. Steve Jobs. Whoa! Makes sense. They beat him once he gets back. Boom, boom, boom. Makes sense. Understood. MHA. Deku isn't strong enough because Shigaraki almost took his power. So he says, I'm leaving to go become better. But all he has to do is talk to him in his head? And the time skip is only a month? What? Why couldn't it have been 2 years or 3 years where we see, like, Bakugo as a hero? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna start it right now. Bakugo should have died in the last arc. And let me explain to you my reasoning here, okay? I know you Bakugo fans out there are being like, no, you can't kill him, he's my son! No! He should have died. Imagine the motivation that would have given Deku to have the time skip, first off. Second off, to leave UA. Third off, to master his quirk. Right? Think about it. Bakugo dies. The one person he always looked up to and always thought was stronger than him lost. He wasn't able to protect him. The guy he looks up to, the hero, quote unquote, he sees in Bakugo, is now dead. So he leaves UA to protect the students from, Shigaraki attacking. That part I understand. Leaves UA. And then he masters the ability, but it takes him a while. 2 years. Should have been 2 years. Let me tell you, 2 years. Because, oh my god, bro, why was it not 2 years? It would have made so much sense. We would have been able to see Bakugo, or maybe not Bakugo, because Bakugo would have died in what I wanted. We would have seen Ochaka as a hero. We would have seen Denki as a hero, my boy! We would have seen so much change in the society, except 30 days? What? The previous arc takes place in March. The time skip then has a box, April. A month? That's not enough of a time skip to reason why Deku can now use all of his powers without fill. Do you know how long it took? Do you know how long it took Luffy? He has had this power for like 10 years before the time skip, and he still doesn't. He's still making stuff up. He's still learning stuff, and he has to go into another 2 years. 2 years to understand how to use his power. Bro, what are you doing, Horikoshi? Why can't he just like Jujutsu Kaisen is the good version of MHA because Horikoshi is too scared to do anything, and Jujutsu Kaisen Gege, I'm sorry, my pronunciation isn't that great, but anyways, Gege is like not afraid, and he's like, yo, let's kill the principal, let's fast fire, let's kill these characters, but make it sensible, make it where it makes sense. I also would like to know more about One For All's power. I mean, we see it in the chapter how he's like given he's giving powers to Lady, what the fuck is her name? How he makes a contract with her, and he gives her a power. I want to know. I thought people could only have one power, unless they're Deku with that in particular power, or Shigaraki with his in particular power. Now, excuse me, Mr. Chapter. Because I thought it was like One Piece where you get one power and if you get another one you die. I thought he could take a power and then give you power. I didn't know he could give you power if you already had one. Might be. Her name's Lady Nagat. When will I remember that? Alright. Alright. Dr. Stone. Oh. Let me explain. Dr. Stone is probably my favorite series in Jump right now. From when the anime ended, right? Once the anime ended, I read all of the chapters, which was like, I think it was like 60 to like 190. I read them all, and let me tell you, there is not one bad chapter in Dr. Stone. I read through them all, and I can give you the minimum guarantee that there is no bad chapters in Dr. Stone. I don't think there's a boring chapter. I don't think there's a lame chapter. Every chapter is really good. I think the closest we can get to a lame chapter it's probably something like a chapter where they're just re-explaining something, though I don't remember any of them. I think maybe the beginning was a little boring, but it's still really interesting. I think it's only boring compared to like now, the exploration and all that good stuff. But, I mean, this chapter was really good. We got Suika being super cute, being, helpful, which I loved. Like, give me more, please? It was crazy that it's only been, 7 years instead of, like, the 60 or 50 that I thought it was gonna be. But I'm happy to see that Suika's not like, oh, Senku, it's been so long, It's just like she's a teenager now, and it's like, oh, Suika, you're so cute. Oh, I'm so happy that you're able to save everyone. But now Senku technically doesn't have the, because it's only been like 7 years. Unless it was like thousands of years. Okay, so I have a question now. With Dr. Stone, has it been 7 years in total, or has it been 7 years since Suika woke up? Because the chapter before Suika wakes up, you see the dog and the pig, or whatever, that didn't get petrified for, whatever reason. I guess only birds and people do. I don't get why, but whatever. So the dog and the boar, and they're like, a little chisai, and then they get oki a little bit, a little large. And so I'm like, has it been 5 years? I just assumed it was 5 years. But maybe it was only a few months. I'm not sure how long it was between them being petrified and Suika waking up. But I guess it's been since the petrification, and then when Senku woke up, that was 7 years in total. Interesting, I suppose. I think so at least. But yeah, I'd love to see more of like, I know it's not gonna happen because we have Senku now, which is my boy. But I would have liked to see a little bit more of Suika. Though I was a little worried that she was gonna like write on the paper, like cross out the steps, and then she'll go back and be like, oh, I can't read it, or something like that. But I'm glad she didn't mess up or anything like that, and I'm super stoked that we got Senku again. Senku supremacy! Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter 148, I think. Oh my god, really good. Kind of, maybe not really good. I don't know why I said that. The more I read where Jujutsu Kaisen is now, the more I think it's basically Hunter x Hunter these days. Hunter x Hunter, HXH, that's what I call it. And let me explain why. A lot of exposition. That's my reasoning. And because of this exposition, it's a little slow, it's a little slog to get through, but it makes sense at least because it's a big tournament and everything. There's not really much reason for HXH to be, except it's less artwork, a little less work, and whatever. But I'm not caught up with HXH. I probably should preface that. It was an interesting chapter. I mean, we got to see what's her name, Maki, with all her like scar and everything, fighting. But I am wondering, when are they gonna kill Megumi? Are they gonna try to kill him during the tournament? Are they gonna have someone go into the tournament? Are they gonna have the tournament kill him? I'm interested. I want to see where it goes, who they kill, and why they kill. But I was a little confused on something. I was a little confused on why, or they said like, when you kill your children in the clan, that it gives you more notoriety, or it gives you more like cred or something. And I'm like, why though? Did I miss something? And another thing was when Maki said, I don't want a world where Mai thinks, she belongs. Is that like a really petty thing? Or is that more of a, oh, I love my sister kind of thing? Maybe one of y'all can tell me, because I don't understand. Ame no Furu, Candy Flurry, whatever you want to call it. Pretty interesting, I would say. They have the powers of candy. How Tokyo has been ruined by a lollipop user. Though it is kind of the same thing with MHA and One Piece, where it's like a one dessert per person. But it's kind of interesting, actually, because it's like, oh my god, I can't fit in this square. This was such a lame joke. Where it's interesting because the main thing is like, two characters have the same power. The main character has a lollipop power, but she doesn't destroy Tokyo with her lollipop power. So it's like, you did. How does this work? Why? Maybe the guy's dead and that's why she has her own power, That's what I'm thinking. But then, where would the series be? I don't know. So the humor with Ame no Furu is like, it's like not really that funny the first time, and then they say it a second time, and then a third time, and then a fourth time, and then they bring it to the next chapter and they say it like twice, and it's not that funny. Like with this new character, Ieri-san, they, or Senpai, I guess, my bad. But what they'll do is how they're like, she's a sharp one. Oh, I left my book bag in the car. She's not that sharp. And it's like, oh my god. This wasn't funny the first time. Can we just abandon this humor? But it was also, it was kind of funny the first time. Not really though. So the action in Ame no Furu, is like this. It has the wind up and it has the punch, right? So it's like this, where it's like, right? Edit that so it looks good. Let me do it. Edit that so it looks good. But in like a series like Demon Slayer, it looks like this, like, where it's like, the wind up, the start, the start of the attack, in the in between of the wind up and the actual impact, and then the follow through. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I mean, I don't have a sword. Actually, I do, but I'm not getting it out. So it feels very awkward, and I'm not really a fan. Hopefully, they fix that though with this. As the series progresses and everything, hopefully they fix the action and the humor, because I really love the series. I should probably talk about the chapter now, huh? Ieri-san finds out that what's her name is a lollipop user at the very end. It's an interesting twist. I wonder how they're gonna go with it. If she'll believe her that she is not the lollipop user or not. What else happened? It was just kind of like an okay chapter, really. I didn't mind it. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I gotta say about the chapter. Sakamoto Days now, 22, chapter 22. Really good. I really enjoyed it. What is there to say? I really enjoyed how it was Ishin's backstory, but it wasn't like him thinking about it as he's like dying or something kind of basic. It's his, not master, mister, some guy, the guy who raised him. There we go. The guy who raised him, it's him telling story to Lou. I remember that. Lou. And then at the end, how she's just like, oh, it's so sad. And I'm like, yes, so good. Such a good, I really loved how he was like, rather than, yeah, make me normal, he was like, no, I'm gonna stay like this for you so people acknowledge what you've done and so it makes sense, you know? And I'm like, ooh, I like this twist. I really liked how at the end of the chapter, Lou is like, oh, you know, we have a family rule where it's like, don't, or you can't go to bed, or what is it? You have to apologize before the end of the day to each other. And I really appreciated how she's like, oh yeah, we're a family, even though she calls Sakamoto-san a boss, which makes sense. But still, I would love to see where, I can't wait to see where this goes. I'm really excited for the next chapter and this arc, really. It's really interesting. I hope to see more of Shin's backstory, and really, I want to see more of how he became an assassin, what steps he took, not to become one, but to get to the point where he wanted to become one, you know what I mean? Because it's like, event, he left, or like, power, he left, and then boom, nothing, and then assassin? What happened here, man? What happened here? That's what I want to know. They're a family! Yo! Mashle! Oh my god. Such a good Mashle chapter, let me tell you. It was like, just, you know, like, Mashle's father is Innocent Zero. You know, Innocent Zero tells Wahlberg, oh, we haven't fought for centuries. Our wands have not crossed for centuries. It's like, how long have you guys been alive? They can summon things? The Uranus, god of the sky, you know, like, and then god of time. I don't remember the person that he summoned, but I remember god of time, and it was so cool. And I definitely thought that Mash was just not going to be affected, kind of like in part 3 where Jotaro just taught himself how to stop time. But instead, I thought it was just going to be he learns how to stop time by, you know, just not being affected by the time stop. I definitely thought that was going to happen. And I was going to massive Lamoa, but it didn't happen. So we're not going to talk about that. Let's move on. So for the Elusive Samurai, chapter 16, I gotta say, I didn't really understand what was going on this time. I don't know, I thought it was funny how Yorosuke was kind of like really protective of the main character, Tokiyuki, excuse me. I thought that was kind of interesting. But I didn't really understand some things, you know? Like, why did they leave? I don't understand why they left. Is it because they want to take this village before the enemies? That makes sense. Is it because they just wanted to go? I don't know. I think it's the village one. It's the only one I have in mind. And it's the only one that makes sense, really. Because, I mean, how else are they going to take territory before the enemy, right? Am I right or am I right? So at the end of the chapter, they have this, someone attacks them. And what I think happens, I don't think it's the enemy has taken the village yet. I think it's the village fighting because they think Tokiyuki is the bad guy. So what I think will happen in the next chapter, or maybe in the next few chapters, the Tokiyuki gang will chill there for a little bit, and then the bad guys, the Suwa clan, or maybe not the Suwa clan, the Suma army will come in, destroy the village, and then Tokiyuki's got to go save the village even though no one's there anymore because they just destroyed it. That's what I think will happen in the next few chapters. Ooh. An interesting twist of ITLC, don't you think? Hey guys, look, I'm like Mar! Woo! I don't have an art piece though. Whoops. So with ITLC, in the beginning of the series, I really hated it. I honestly, first chapter, I loved it. And then they ruined it by having Risa be the main character instead of the antagonist of the entire thing. I thought that she was going to be an unknown person the entire time, and the entire series was going to be finding out who it was, you know? And it's going to, like, she stalks different people, and I was half right, I guess she stalks different people, but we already know who it is, which is unfortunate, I will say. But this chapter, I mean, since Mars' introduction, I've really enjoyed this series. It was like The first chapter I loved, everything since I hated, and then Mars enters and I love the series. Maybe not love, but I really enjoy what they've been doing with the series. I think they've finally found what they need to do, to make it in jump. And I think the next step is to have a villain, antagonist, criminal, whatever you want to call him, is entertaining as Mara. Where she's on the, like, maybe not in particular this part, but Mara's on the ceiling. She's all about her, even though she's stealing priceless art and defacing it. It's about her. It's her show. It's not the art piece. She didn't steal the art piece. Well, I mean, she did, but it's more about the act of she did it. Not art piece was stolen. It's art piece stolen by Mar. Mar stole an art piece. That is what she wants to everyone to see, and I really like that. I don't know why, I just do. So the twist at the end is that Mar texts someone, and it turns out to be Risa, and the text says something like, oh, help me out, come get me, or something like that, like, oh, it's time. And so I'm like, oh, how's this gonna happen? Let's be honest, it's Risa. She's gonna team up with Eyyo, or honestly, whatever his name was. I know Aoi's her last name. Whoops. Like Sakon's brother, Ukon, one of them. He's gonna team up with her, and then take down Mar, arrest her, and then we got a new villain, maybe a real hero of the series. Let me tell you. Hopefully they keep doing this. I really enjoy what they've been doing with this series. Chapter 42 of Hard-Boiled Cop and Dolphin was sad. Really, that's really all I have to say to it. Or like the long short of it, or the long end of it. I don't really know how the phrasing goes. TLDR, that's what the kids say, right? You got him. Easy clap. We're done. But isn't it interesting how it's the story of Chaco these past few chapters? How it's been like, Chaco's like upbringing, how she was born, and then how it's like the leader of this religious gang is Orpheus's old partner. Interesting, let me tell you. I am sad because Orpheus is gone now, or presumably the right or left hand. I think it's the right hand. It's gone, or it's just chilling there, and it's so sad because it's like, we see Chaco's like talking to Orpheus. It's like, oh, she found Orpheus. She found Orpheus, and then he just died. It's like, oh my God, no, Orpheus, no. Witch watch time. I really enjoyed the chapter, if I'm honest with you. It was like really cute, and I really enjoyed how she didn't need to use her. She used her powers, but it was like she used the powers, right? And there was no downside. It's a really interesting way to show her grow, rather than it being like how in the past chapters where she made everyone fly, and then it got out of hand because someone hit a cone, making everyone fly just randomly, kind of thing. Or how, trying to make her hot for Moi. That was fine, but it was kind of weird because it was also like, did the last chapter even have any magic? I think no, it didn't. It was just the teacher being an otaku. Crazy. Should have reviewed that one. But anyways, I think it's a really interesting way to show her how she's growing. How it's like her skill is becoming really great because she's not having any incidents where she used to, And I really enjoyed how it's like, oh, you think high school's going to be this way, it's going to be the same as middle school, and it's not. And I really enjoyed that as well. This poor Hada guy. We've all been there, man. I'm with you. We've all been there. Magu-chan, Yonjini. Pretty good chapter. I really liked it. It was really heartwarming how she thought Magu-chan was going to be a particular way, very, not anal, not mean, go down the path of a delinquent, but then he didn't. Good twist, great twist. Mr. K. Anyways, Magu-chan is a delinquent. In the chapter, he goes to a bar. Living the life, man. Living life. I'm almost there. 21 soon! So then Magu-chan, right? He makes a cake, or he doesn't make the cake. Naputa-kun makes the cake, right? He's putting the cake on. He gets the bracelet for Ruru for her Tanjobi Omedetou Ruru. Fluent? Pera pera? No longer is it Nihongo. No longer is it Nihongo ga pera pera ni naritai desu. It's Nihongo ga pera pera ni narimashita. It was really sweet how they all wanted to surprise her. And I thought it was going to be something like the Christmas special where her mom comes out, but she can't because it's snowing and they can't get her, and Magu-chan saves the day. But I thought we were losing Magu-chan instead, and we see Ruru, I presume is her dad, because it's, now it's not a masculine arm, but it has like a wedding ring on it, which doesn't indicate masculinity, but it has but it's just like we haven't seen Ruru's father at all. And so that's why I kind of assumed it's just the dad rather than mom being in the hospital, because it's like, don't go, and she's crying. It's like, Magu-chan, come back. And then he's like, don't worry, we're always going to be together. And it's like, Magu-chan, let's go. Oh my god. Great chapter, let me tell you, great chapter. Kokose Kazoku. Great chapter. Bori o shitai. Shitai desu. Yeah, I want to play volleyball. Bori o shimasu. Ichiro Itani-san ga, tsuyoi service. Sugee. All the Japanese I know right there. Saddest thing about the chapter is how it's over. Honestly, I'm so sad because now we're not gonna have another volleyball until the tournament, and it's like, bro, no, give me more volleyball. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Such a great chapter. Man, can Ichiro Itani play? Kiryu, Dragons 9 of them. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boom. Easy. What are you doing here? Do your math. I mean, it was a good chapter. The first half was hella basic though, because the first half was just we're learning about our new teammates. We're just kind of like, playing a little shuffling the shuffle, as it were. And we're just learning about their power, not their powers, but their abilities, their specialties, their personalities, that kind of thing. And so I like the new ones, but we haven't seen them play, so I'm curious about how well they play. One can only hit a home run, otherwise he misses all the balls. He's hit 5 in his high school, or what is it, Chugoku? I don't remember what it is, Chugoku record. He has 5 home runs, and then everything else is a 0. He's never hit another ball. He's only hit 5 balls, or it's only, you know what I mean, everything else has been a strikeout. And then his friend, I don't remember either of their names, I ain't gonna lie. The friend is like very very shy, very pessimistic even. Doesn't really want to it's just very suspect of everything. What I say is, but the second half, let me tell you, Haku's director. We see him in his office, and we learn that Shiro Shiratori is his son, and that on the way to his office, he hates losing so much that he has a wall of shame about every loss, everything about that loss, and why they lost. Weirdest thing is how it's always to the same team. I don't know why. That doesn't make sense to me. They've lost no games except to they've only lost to Koku. Oh my god, Koku. They've only lost to Konkuryozan High School, which is the main team this time around. Let's go! Let's go! And then let's finish it off with Blue Box. Oh no, Hako. No. think we've all been there. We've all been at the place where we thought we were special to this person, and then they hit us with, no, I'm really into this person, or, you know, we just like a gal, and then nothing really comes of it. But man, let me tell you, it doesn't hurt. I mean, maybe a few things hurt more, of course. Anal, for one. Cut that out, And so, like, when he's like, oh, I like this girl, really cute, and then turns out some dude is calling her a nickname. What? Like, I've been there. Girl I like, guy I don't really know, talking like it's nonchalant nothing. What? First off, how can you do that? How do you have the skills to? How are you, you know, what's your relation? Are you, do you know something I don't? But yeah, I've been there. It hurts. It honestly does. Because you just don't know where you are within the, where you think you are. You think you're here, but you're really back here. You know, you think you're here, but you're really down there, back with the, like, who are you? Who Megalol? Rather than, like, maybe she likes me. Honestly, I just love hanging out with Taiki. And the girl, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. I Taiki more than her. Shiranoi, I think? That is not her name, that's Medaka Box. I hate myself. I love hanging out with Taiki, so the author really has accomplished with that. Because in his first reader, comment, his first author comment, got it. He says, if you guys want to hang out with these characters, then I will have succeeded. Let me tell you, man, you have succeeded. I can't wait to see Taiki's rise to nationals and to win the nationals and maybe the girl, I'm not sure, but definitely in for the sports and for the romance as well. Let's go. And so that's it. I'm done. Finally did it after like an hour or two of recording. All my ideas are out there in your face now, in your eyes, in your ears even. So let's go through and rank them. Number 1, Kozoku, or Kokusei Kozoku, easy clap. Volleyball, number 1, best chapter of the week. I'm only going to do top 3, I'm sorry guys. Number 2, Mashle, so good, loved it. And I'd say number 3, so many good chapters this week. I want to say probably Dr. Stone, or I'll just say Dr. Stone. Subscribe!